I almost forgot that.
I know. How do you? It was like it was a lag. I was like, we're not gonna not do this.
It's a thing now.
It's a thing now. So excited.
Are you always excited?
I'm excited about today. We're talking about leadership and support, which has been. I'm horrible at it, and it's the thing that is most that's most impactful. I think, for everything, but for my enjoyment in my work, it's the thing that's changed that aspect the most.
Supporting others or being supported?
Being supported.
Oh, okay.
I'm horrible at asking for support.
Mm-hmm.
I'm better, but it's not where I land naturally.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to help break this down to help people understand what that could look like and why it's important. I don't think that it's our default as leaders. So many leaders, one of the qualities is to try to do it on their own. And there's a litany of reasons why that's not the best. And we're going to go through that today, but I'm excited.
Good.
Great. Do you have a question?
Of course, I have a question. Do you know me? I have all the questions.
All the questions.
Okay, I had 20 questions for this one. Okay, so my question today is if you had unlimited money and you could hire anyone to support you.
Ooh.
Who would you hire?
Oh, this is good.
I know.
I know what yours are because we have an ongoing list of the people that we need to hire.
Yeah, I know. I have a list.
Get a list.
I have so many.
Mm-hmm.
I'm I would hire a stylist. We've already kind of hired a private chef, but I'd have an all the time private chef. There's so many. We don't have a list. We need to start your list.
Okay.
So who is it? What's the support you would say hell yes to? Mm-hmm. Take it off your plate, bro.
I mean, this is not. Oh man, I want a more impactful answer. I'm trying to think above the nitty gritty details. It's such a pain in the ass booking your own travel.
Yes.
That's
we both hate that.
But that's kind of a low. That's not a big reach. We really just need to hire that person. We're just not doing it. True support. What would that look like? Let me think. Man, this is hard. I'm trying to think bigger. I keep coming back to very kind of small, nitpicky things, and again, those aren't.
There might be something in that though.
Yeah.
One of our clients said he would hire someone to maintain his nails while he sleeps.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, okay, so that's fair. Maybe it's not. If I think about support, I think about when I'm at my kind of highest and best. I can get really bogged down in detail. I'm very detail oriented. And so the things that bog me down are keeping track of all those details all the time. And I also have it's not even a tendency, it's just what happens. I keep track of everybody else's details too.
Yes.
Which is, really just not necessary, but it's just what happens.
Sometimes it's necessary.
Well, sometimes.
So you would hire a professional ball catcher for the team.
I mean, it really just be an epic, kick-ass, I'm going to say executive assistant, but it's more than that. It's I'm talking somebody who's
You needed Donna. Remember Suits?
Oh, from Suits. I needed Donna. That's what I'm thinking, a very high-paid,
yes,
professional kick who just has their finger on the pulse of all of these things. Because it's not just the travel, it's then it's this and there's a lot of these buckets that I'm just always very, very aware of that take a lot of maintenance, and that's just again, that's how my brain works. It doesn't come from a lack of trust from other people. It's just that's just what I do. If that was off of my plate, I'm what what would I even do with my hands? Like how much bandwidth would be freed up? But yeah, it's not like an assistant. Like I'm like it's somebody who's like very, very accomplished. Like I don't even know what that role would be. But yeah, like unlimited budget. Like they're making like $500,000 a year just to like juggle the balls that like I just live in my brain and like keep me up at night.
Yeah, that's fair.
Great.
Really good.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna find that person. And
stressful.
I love, like, anytime I think about like hiring the person, I get excited.
Yeah.
And
I immediately thought about all the things that I would have to do to get ready to hire that person. I'm like, there's so many logistics.
That person would be so capable.
I know.
They would come in and be like, I'm actually going to take care of the logistics to train myself.
Man, what a world.
What would you do with your hands?
No, more podcasts maybe.
Ooh, I like this. We could speak more. We could all the things.
No, the list goes on and on.
Well, I love this conversation. I know you do too, because leaders suck at asking for help.
Mm-hmm.
Suck at it.
They do.
We suck at it.
We suck.
We
have sucked in the past. We will suck again.
So today we're going to be talking about how to work hard. I almost said it backwards.
How to work harder, not smarter. You heard it here first, guys.
How to work smarter, not harder, and actually ask for help.
Yeah.
And creating a team that like feels valued. So the statistics were crazy on this. Like some of this, you guys, they're like they're so intense. So we looked up some statistics, the stats to prove that leaders struggle with support. 61% of leaders say that they feel isolated in their roles. That was Harvard Business. And that's 61, it's over half. We feel isolated. And this was not just top leaders. This was all the way through when you dig into the stats. 50% of CEOs struggle with asking for help because they fear it will make them look weak. No, why do we do this to ourselves? I know the psychology behind it, but it sucks. And then the impact of doing it all. So the impact of doing it all alone is really hard. So leaders who don't delegate experience burnout 3 times faster than those who do. And that one was from Gallup, and their research is super sound. And then teams with leaders who don't receive support are 40% less engaged because they don't feel like their contributions matter. So that one is really important. I think the reality that your team actually feels less engaged because you're not good. I'm going to point at you. You're not good. I was kidding.
That's true.
I'm totally kidding.
I feel so seen. We're called out right now.
we're not good at asking for help. Our team feels less engaged. Mm-hmm. That really contributes to the impact that we have on our clients. That really trickles down. So if you won't receive support, your team will assume their help isn't needed, or worse, they won't feel like they're valued.
Yeah.
They don't feel valued. They don't feel seen. They don't feel like their contribution matters to us. We literally hired them to support our mission. And then we're like, no, thanks. I got it. Yeah. I'm strong CEO.
We talked about that in the last podcast about like what high performers need and recognition and like feeling valued is a big part of it. So it's interesting. The relationship there is like, we don't ask for support from a leadership perspective because we're high performers. And we think that's what makes a high performer. And in reality, one, that's not solving, what we think it's going to solve. 2, it's actually a detriment to the high performers around us because those individuals need to feel valued. So it's like, it's this very strange, like inverse relationship where it's totally in the face of and in opposition to what we think it's accomplishing. And it actually has this really massive ripple effect of the other people around us who are high performers as well. So
it's like a double whammy, right? Like it's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah.
No one wins. So
let's talk about why this happens. I've done a lot of research and reading on executive loneliness is actually something that I'm really passionate about. It's this very real fact that these people in leadership roles are surrounded by individuals that are ready and willing to provide support, and these individuals are often the most lonely and feel the most isolated. So it's a very, very sad thing, and like the stats that you went through highlight that. And there's ton more supporting statistics there. Like the numbers are outrageous. So why do we struggle to receive support? So we know that it's important, and I think we would even say, like, I don't know that anybody really, if they were honest, would be like, no, I don't want support. There is just this almost kind of, we like take it at face value.
Well, there's some real costs in our minds. Like you're gonna I know you're gonna break down some like real costs. There's some real costs in our minds of why, like, it's a really scary thing. There's a lot of costs in our heads, perceived costs, false benefits that we get from not asking for support. And I think that that's important to map out, because to your point, we're not just waking up and going, I don't want support. No, thank you. We're like, I I don't like I have asked for support and I have been let down, and therefore I've been disappointed, and then I feel even worse. There's some real things here. So I want to be very compassionate as we break this down, because it is like a real pain point. Like I look at these stats and I see myself in it, and I'm like, damn, like I feel this. I feel isolated, and yet I've asked for support and I've been let down. And that's something that's really hard to get back up and be like, will you help me again? Totally. Or like, you know what I mean? And even when you're thinking about executive assistant or whatever, you're like, there's so much to do. So yeah, let's hop into the meat of that. Like, why are these? Let's map out these core things that we just do because there's real reasons to do them.
Yeah. We talked about it earlier. We touched on it earlier, the fear of looking weak. This is kind of the biggest one and number one. Leaders think they need to have all the answers. The real truth of that is that the best leaders ask more than they tell. Again, to your point, there is real data that anyone in this situation or who feels this way, they didn't get here overnight, and they didn't arrive here on their own. Like you and I both experienced that. But we do know that the fact of the matter is that that's not the case. But fear of looking weak, I'll use quotes, I can do it all mindset. So this is very much that, like, they need to be, or the expectation of themselves is they need to be the smartest person in the room. If they're not the one coming up with all the ideas, then they're not valuable. So there's a real identity crisis there. The long-term impact of that is that you train your team to be dependent on you instead of developing their leadership. This is a real key piece. It is our responsibility as leaders to pour into people so that they are, essentially, or not essentially, we've all heard, like, the goal is that you're trying to replace yourself, right? You're trying to put yourself out of a job. You should be growing as a leader so that those people under you are taking your job and you have more and more opportunity for you. So that I can do it, all better or faster or just by myself, is really holding us back. Or one of the reasons why we struggle to receive support. And then control issues and trust. And to your point, I know that this comes from a very real place. Like, we have been burned, and it is scary to give up control, or when we do that, we do not think that we can trust those people to step up and step into a leadership role or step up for us in a way that's in alignment with our expectations. And so we pull back and we don't ask for support because we have trust issues. And I mean, really what that boils down to is it puts us in a micromanagement position. And we all can agree that that is not, that's not how we want to lead. It doesn't yield good results. Quick reality check here. The great leaders don't create followers, they create more leaders. So,
I love that so much.
Yeah, you gotta you leave people better than you found them, right? I think is and Russell Branson talks about that. He has a quote. He says, he said, hire the best people, and what's he say? He says, give them the opportunity to be so great that they can leave, but make the environment so amazing that they don't.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and I think that there's no truer statement. And, he obviously is an incredible example in terms of what he's done. And I think leadership does deserve a mindset shift in that regard. I think we have to recognize that leadership is not about who is behind us, but who's beside us and in front of us.
Yeah.
And I think that really does start to shift the dynamics, and it starts to shift that, like, that trust and that control dynamic too, when we are truly in a collaborative environment versus top down. Because like the org chart perpetuates the lack of support or our fear of asking for support too. So there's an infrastructure piece there as well.
And to overcome this, this is how the brain works. So here's the problem. Here's the false benefit that we get of, we get control. We have these things, but then to actually like shift that is why we talk about mindset shifts so much. Well, we need to focus on what are you going to get? So what's the benefit of receiving support? We got some really amazing stats on this one too, because your brain has to understand what it's missing out on. So if you're in this place where like control, I'm like a control junkie. I'm afraid. I don't want to look weak. Listen to these and really think about them. Put yourself in these stats and think about what you could gain if you actually let go of the things that are stopping you. And those whys that Taylor mapped out. So the first one is people feel more engaged, valued, and connected when they're able to receive support or give support. So employees are 3 times more likely to stay in a job where they feel like their contributions make a difference. That is 3 times more likely. Like that is really huge, because if we look at the contributions, they're going to stay if they feel like they can support you. So asking for that support is going to actually move the needle. And then the second point here is it builds trust and ownership. If people feel like they have a responsibility to carry, it's going to build their confidence. They're going to feel important. They're going to feel needed, and they're going to develop those leadership skills. And then the third one is it takes more to be connected. No, that's not it.
Say it again.
My eyes. So it just like totally like shifted words. It creates more connection and energy in the culture. And we've talked a lot about this in the last 2 podcasts. Energy in your culture is where it's at. And so if you actually focus on this, people want to feel needed, they want to feel useful, and they want energy and connection. So if you can ask for support, it's going to give you all of those things. Taylor, it's time.
Is it time?
It's time for you to ask for support. People want to feel needed. We want to feel needed, Taylor. Right. We're gonna be good and show up for you in this support.
Wow.
So we're
what a treat. What an opportunity.
I want to feel needed too. I'm just kidding. I'm terrible at it. I'm totally joking.
Yeah.
I'm no better.
I want to give people examples or ways of how to start receiving support. As always, broke this down, outlined why it's important. So what do we actually do about it? One is ask for help with small things. So I know this is, I've caught myself doing this where you ask for support or you think about support when you're underwater. And that is usually because of a big thing. And then that feels heavy and, it's a big time commitment and the list goes on. Start small. So instead of handling just like a task solo, just invite someone in to help to collaborate on that task. I love I'd love your insight on this kind of invitation is a great way to just ease into dip your toe into the water of the support pool.
Yes, and to that point, don't do it while you're underwater. Do it before you get underwater.
Totally.
Because then
look, we both use little pool analogies. Yeah. Great. So before you go swimming, y'all, ask for support. Delegation is a big one. So again, this is like the trust piece. Just delegate and let go and like give true ownership, not just tasks. We've talked about this a lot. We're gonna say
let go, don't isolate.
Yeah, right. Totally. Oh, that's good. Yeah, right. There's a distinction there.
Like you give it to someone. I think this happens. You give it to someone and then you like go and hide. You're like afraid because like you gave it to someone. Yeah. So like let go. Don't disconnect and isolate. Because it does make a difference.
Love that. And then the third way to start receiving support is to acknowledge and celebrate the support you receive. Yeah. Be cool with publicly recognizing the fact that you didn't do it on your own. And what that does is it reinforces the fact that your help or that others' help is valued. We touched on that earlier. People, when they don't get asked for support, they feel like they're not valued. So it's this kind of downward spiral. Also, that ties into high performers not getting what they need. So that public recognition. And when people see that their help matters, they want to give it again. That also makes the lift lighter for you the next time you ask for support, because it's going to be more automatic that the person or people around you offer it versus you having to reach out for it. So the friction there is diminished, kind of like every time you do it, where then it becomes automatic. That's true collaboration. So then the walls are broken down, and it's actually not a big deal anymore. You just roll into collaborative environments, and it's like co-support. And it doesn't take long for that to be broken down. We've done that a lot with other teams. That seems like that's it takes work, but literally within a few instances of that being a thing, people just show up in that way because they want to. So the first time, rip off the Band-Aid, that's hard. A little easier, and then it becomes it's not that big of a deal. Then you're swimming. Y'all.
You're just swimming. And it's fun. You just get to swim together.
You're splashing around. It's great.
So
what's the leadership challenge?
Leadership challenge. Okay, so where in leadership, I want you to think about where in leadership do you resist support? And really map those areas out to see where that resistance is. And then who on your team is waiting for the opportunity to contribute? How can you actually create space for those people to show up? So ask yourself those two questions. Resist, where are you resisting it? Where can you create opportunity for your people? And then true leadership isn't about doing it all. It's about empowering others to rise within your organization and really allowing people to step into that place. So,
Got me fired up.
Oh, so you're ready to hire someone?
Let's do it. Yeah. Great.
Becca's gonna be like, no.
Yeah.
Slow down,
Hard
guys.
Pass. Yeah. No, so again, we've talked about this. This is an ongoing series now, I guess. Is that what we're calling it? That's not the right word. Event series.
It's a community and a network that we're building.
Great. Love that.
We're building a network.
See, I just asked for support, guys. I didn't have the right words. Christine had them. The Service Hub is our in-person networking event. So part networking and part facilitated workshop where you walk away with real tactical solutions to grow your business, to support your team, to build the culture that you want. The next one is going to be on March 27th. That is in person in Denver, Colorado, at a location called Tradecraft. We'll put the information and the link to that. It's free to sign up. We truly are just so excited to build this amazing community and support entrepreneurs and business owners and leaders in this space with really clear takeaways that you can apply literally immediately after the event. So we've had people tell us, the event's on Thursday, Friday morning, they hit the ground running, and we're actually able to make real impactful changes. And in a very short period of time. It is from 3 o'clock to 4:30 in the afternoon. So it's March 27th is our next one. They're recurring on the fourth Thursday of every month. And if you're not in Denver, can't make it, totally okay. You can also reach out to us at impactinitiative.network, and we are here to support you in any way that we can. We have tons of resources there, as well as the ability to get in touch with us if we can help you understand what support looks like for you, how to change that narrative in your business, how to create an environment where those high performers and the people around you are thriving because they feel valued, and they're actually able to provide the support that they want. So I hope this is helpful. I hope this helps. I did it now too.
Yes.
I hope this helps change the narrative that you have about yourself and support. And until next time, this has been Impact Minded.